Okay, y'all, this is Mr. Gibson again, and in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can find the missing angles of right triangles using inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, again, we have this little rhyme here of SOHCAHTOA to try to remind us that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. In the earlier video when we were finding missing sides, I talked about that in a little more detail. But just real quickly, if I wanted to find angle B right here, I could use sine inverse by taking the sine inverse of this ratio, the opposite side A over the hypotenuse H. If I wanted to find B, I could use cosine by using B, which is the adjacent side, over the hypotenuse. Or I could find angle B as well if I use the ratio of opposite A over adjacent B. Okay? Again, the best way to see this is by doing a couple examples ourselves. So we'll start with this one. I'm asked to find this angle right here, theta. Okay? And I'm given 7, which is my opposite side, and 8, which is my adjacent side. So now my first step is I've determined, because I have an opposite and adjacent, that I need to use tangent. Okay? And not just tangent, tangent inverse. Quick. Alright, so second step is to actually plug in my ratio. So I'm going to have tangent inverse of opposite, which is 7, over adjacent, which is 8. Okay? My third step, you guys, is just to go ahead and put this into my calculator. Alright, so I'm going to press second tangent for the tangent inverse. I like to hit alpha y equals to make it a fraction, but you can use the division sign for this as well. 7 over 8. Press enter, and my measurement is 41.2 degrees. And that's it. That's the whole problem. I found angle B. I could also find angle A now by subtracting it from 90, but we'll talk about that in class in a little more detail. Let's go to another example here. Start with an angle right here. I have this side given to me, which is 4, and that's opposite of that angle. And I'm also given this side, which is the hypotenuse, because see, this is my 90-degree angle. Opposite of the 90-degree angle is the hypotenuse. Alright, so first to determine the trig function, I've got opposite and hypotenuse, so I'm going to use sine inverse. Okay. Second step again, I'm going to use sine inverse of my ratio, opposite, which is 4, over hypotenuse, which is 7.9. Okay. Finally, the third step is I'm just going to put this trig ratio into my calculator, just like that. Okay, so again, I'm going to hit second sine inverse, alpha y equals enter for a fraction, 4 over 7.9. Press enter, and there's my answer. It's 30.4 degrees. Okay. So, in summary, here's our steps. We got to determine the trig function from the given sides. Remember SOHCAHTOA. Plug in the ratio of the given sides to the correct trig inverse function. Okay, so we're using the inverse function. And then finally, 3, use a calculator to determine the trig inverse of the ratio of the sides. This value will be the missing angle. Okay, so again, you have to hit second in that trig function right there to get the trig inverse. Finally, if you're doing this on your own at home, you can use Desmos on your phone or on your computer to help you determine these trig inverse functions on the homework. Again, finish that homework up after you understand this video, and have a good rest of the day. Thanks.